So this is our Brut non-vintage. If you're new to Wiston, there is no better place to start than this wine. Now you can't make a non-vintage wine until you have a number of years under your belt. So we couldn't launch this when we first started. This is now made up of 40% reserve wines. That means wines from previous vintages that we've saved in our reserve tank. It then has 60% of the host year. Now, I happen to know this wouldn't be written on this bottle, but I happen to know this is from the most fantastic year of 2015, when we had an amazing late, long summer. What is fantastic about this wine is just its incredible ability to wake up one's palate. At this point, I am going to pick up my glass and just remind myself, which I always love, of just the sheer purity in this wine. And to have a little sip of this, what you are immediately hit by is this wonderful, clean zest zing that honestly, it gets bits going back here that you might not have used for a little while. We found this is in restaurants all over the country, and we found that chefs absolutely love this wine for its ability to cut through almost anything. And dare I say it, you really can have it with almost anything. Even if you have one of those naughty habits like I do of having the odd crisp before dinner, this is a match for it. And we have found with this wine again and again, those who say, no, you know, the champagne style, it doesn't quite do it for me. They've had a try of this and said, oh my goodness, that could go with anything. Do you know, I really, really love it. It's that lightness, that simplicity in many ways. This wine is not trying to change the world. What Dermot, our winemaker, is doing here is just the most wonderful reflection of what we've got out here in the vineyard. It's a third, a third, a third of each of those wonderful champagne varietals: Pinot Noir, Pinot Meunier, and Chardonnay. And just to go back to the nose of this wine, what I am always immediately struck with is that clean, fresh smell of Granny Smith apples. What could be more English? And you have got that cleanness, and then because of those reserve wines and what we would call the time on lees, the time on its yeast, you've got just that added extra little bit of depth. So clean, purity of fruit, of that Granny Smith apple, but with that depth underneath.